All right, folks, how y'all doing today? We're just gonna sit out here and chill out and talk a little bit about fishing today, and get into different baits, different techniques, our different styles of baits, the different baits that we use, and just kind of go over all that stuff. So, just in general, and just talk about a whole lot of different things. We're going to talk about how to tie some lures. We're going to talk about the different baits that we have. So if you guys got if you have time out there, just stay tuned. Please subscribe to our channel. We're gonna get a lot of stuff up here in the near future. So stay tuned with all of our amazing stuff that we got coming out. Um, uh, Fishing is what we do. Fishing is what we do 7 days a week. Compared to the Get Hook Magic Baits and the Get Hook Bait and Tackle, our bait and tackle shop here in Florida. So if you're ever in Florida, come on down, check that out. So we're not going to script anything. We're just going to go right in here and do this video and just see how it turns out and just upload it. And hopefully you guys will watch it, and like it, and comment, and share, and subscribe. Please subscribe to the channel. I'm going to try to get a lot more videos out there, a little bit shorter on how to do things, and a lot of our baits on how to work them, and just different techniques and ways to fish certain things. So we're going to start off with just some general things that I have sitting around here in my boat right now, and we'll just kind of work our way up into tying some fly, or not tying flies, but tying on baits and hooking up Texas rigs. Um, and I got one rod sitting here on my boat right now. I'll show you how I have it set up with one of our baits, and then we'll go into showing you guys how to tie on, which I feel is my favorite, one of my favorite knots and stuff. So we'll go down that route, and in the meantime, I'm gonna crack me a drink here to get this video started. This is not alcohol, folks. Okay. All right. Get a little flavor going there. So we have many baits with the Get Hook Magic Baits. Well, first of all, let me back up. Again, I'm the owner of Get Hook Bait and Tackle, Florida Bass Charter, and Get Hook Magic Baits. Get Hook Magic Baits is trademarked. We have over 50 something plus custom soft plastic baits. Okay, that's where we start. That's going to be our baby. That's going to be our go-to. No matter what, always amazing custom soft plastic baits. Okay, so the Get Hook Magic Baits, our soft plastic custom made baits, are some of the best on the market. With that being said, Get Hook Magic Baits is not just about baits. It's about the magic, and it's about the magic in everything. It's about the magic in you. It's about the magic in me. It's about the magic whoever buys this stuff, whoever you pass it on to, and everything. It's just all around Get Hook Magic Baits. So what better way, than having Get Hook Magic Baits and a brand that represents who I am and what we're about, and to get all of this, out there, the magic to everybody. So that's where we're going to be starting out, and just kind of talking along the way, and get this video uploaded to everybody. And hopefully y'all can like and comment and share and tag all your friends. And in the meantime, if I can think of anything on the way here, we'll do that. I got people texting me here. Then that's what we'll do. And so I'm sitting out here in my bass boat. I run a Skeeter. Everything's redone in here. I run the Skeeter that I do charters here in Florida as well, Florida Bass Charter, FBC, FloridaBassCharter.com. If you're ever interested in going out on a charter, we're 100% guaranteed you're going to catch fish, or it's going to be free. We do live bait or artificial. It don't matter. Whatever you want all year long. So With that said, I'm just going to start with some things that I have in my boat around here, whatever I have laying around, and we'll talk about things. We're going to talk about some tying, how I like to tie, how I like to rig some things up, how I like to work some baits, and then also, please, again, subscribe. It's going to be super important. We're just starting out, folks. Please subscribe, because those that are subscribed and watch these videos, we are going to be doing giveaways. As a matter of fact, I'm going to do a giveaway on this video, and I'm going to make it last 1 month. So for those, I'm going to number things, some things I might not number. And what I want you guys to tell me to enter and to win, so pay attention to this, and I'm just making this up as we go because this is what I like to do. And what I'm going to do is give you a $25 free order on my website. You can get on there and pick $25 worth of stuff. Okay, so in order to win this, first of all, you have to watch this video, and then once I upload it, you're going to have 1 month to comment. I'm going to list 5 things throughout this video. You got to name all 5 things. That way I know you're paying attention. So if you follow through this whole video, you're golden. So you name these 5 things, and you'll be entered in to win the $25 prize. Okay. And the 5 things, I don't know what 5 things it is. I got a bunch of stuff in my boat here. All right. And since I've got this in my hand, and we're going to start it off, the number 1 thing is our popper. Okay. This is our top water. Let me get it up here a little close. Amazing, realistic top water. That's our Get Hook Magic Bait top water popper. So when we name these, this is going to be number 1. So as we go through this video, when we get to number 5, in the comment section down below, just comment. Number 1 is the popper. Number 2 is whatever, 3, and then so on forth till you get to number 5. And then that's where we'll be. And I'm going to stick this aside. That way I'll know which way I numbered them to, because you got to number them in order. You can't be popper number 5 unless we get to popper and it's number 5 as well. I'll say popper number 5. Now this is blue and black. So this is popper number 1, blue and black. Okay. Take note of that, and just continue to follow along with this video. Amazing about this here popper, folks, since this here is in my hand. You know, a lot of people like to change out hooks and everything, you know, when they are running poppers and stuff, you know. But really, the way these baits are made, you know, it's not about the hooks. It's about having a net at the boat. Okay, when you guys are running top water stuff and everything, it's a real good idea to have yourself a popper, to have yourself a net, and have a net close to the boat, because no matter what hook you got, you know, if you're running them things on the top, you know, you're going to want to be able to lift that thing out of there with a net. So having a net is super important. Okay, it's not necessarily about the hooks. Now, I'm not saying these hooks are bad. These hooks are great. Okay, I've caught many fish on these. You can get all these too by going to gethookmagicbaits.com. All right, everything that we have is right online. You can head on over there to gethookmagicbaits.com. We've got, again, 50 something soft plastic baits, a lot of different fishing lines and everything. I don't know how far we'll get into this. This is going to be my first intro video, so we're just going to kind of talk a lot about, you know, a lot of whatever I have in my boat, what I have to use, what I like to use, and this is in here. So obviously this is what I use. It's got a great little rattle, great little popping action, walks the dog, and we've got fish after fish after fish after fish after fish off this bait right here, folks. All right, so that's number 1. Okay. So I'm going to just keep on talking about other things, because I want you guys to watch this whole thing, and then you're going to be able to number these things from 1 to 5, you know. And I'll go through some other baits, and another bait here that I got sitting right here in my boat. This is our ribbon tail. This is the 10-inch. I call this the Big Mo. Okay, the Big Mo. Remember, our custom soft plastics are custom. You know, these baits, people have to realize, you know, we're not just going here in a manufacturer, and a manufacturer sitting there pouring it in the machine, and pumping them out and pumping them out and pumping them out, you know, to where they're getting all these baits, and then they're sticking them in individual bags. And um, you know, a lot of these companies out there are just how do I say it? Let me back up. Okay, so let's say for example there's 4 companies. Now them 4 companies, each one of them 4 companies make 5 to 6 different brands for everybody. So one company makes 5 different brands. This company makes 6 different brands. But folks, it's all the same baits. It's just in different fancy bags. So the Get Hook Magic Baits custom soft plastics are not that. That's what they are. They're custom. You have to understand. We get a lot of people that want free. I got thousands of people. Okay, make sure you follow us on Instagram as well. We got thousands of people between Instagram, Facebook, and now hopefully here, where we're just starting to launch onto YouTube. We're going to start coming out with a lot of things, a lot of videos out here in the water. I'm not even going to edit this. I'm just going to slap this up there online, folks, and it's going to be raw. And when I like to do live videos, back 3 months ago on Facebook, my live video I caught my personal best 11.2 pounder. We'll get into that, I'm sure, here in a little bit, because I got one of my baits that I love on there that I always catch fish on, and I do have a rod right here. We'll get to that. Again, we're just talking raw. We're sitting here talking about fishing and all this stuff here. So again, this is the Big Mo. It's a ribbon tail, 10-inch worm. Okay. Now, why the ribbon tail? The ribbon tail, it parts water faster and it makes it more aggressive. So to me, a ribbon tail is an aggressive style of fishing bait. The ribbon tails don't typically hold up like a normal straight tail. They're not, because of all the ribbons, there's not much friction that holds in between each ribbon. So what I'm talking about is you have the ribbon, a circle, then you have a long part in the middle. Now, because of that, because of the way these ribbon tails are made, they're not 100% as good as a straight tail worm. Again, we'll get into that stuff as well. Now, well, with that being said, these still hold up. They hold up tremendously well. They work great. And if you want to penetrate the water and get some good movement and some aggressive fishing, there you go. That's a Big Mo. That's why it's on my boat. This stuff on my boat is stuff I use. It's what it's what I'm out there tossing. It's what I'm out there doing, catching fish, and it's what I'm out there doing on my fishing charters, and it's what I'm out there selling. Now, here's another one of my baits. Let's see if it's not destroyed. No, I just took it off because I caught 6 or 7 fish, and I feel guilty after a while of catching fish. And sometimes, when I say feel guilty of catching fish, I mean too many off one bait. I'm like, man, I've caught 7, 8, 9 fish. I've actually had 16 fish off one of our baits, one of our soft plastics. And it's got a little bitty tear. I'm like, yeah, I'll just toss it and get a different one. Try our baits out. Just see for yourself, okay? This bait right here, I call the buzzsaw. Okay, this is the buzzsaw. You can see this here plastic is stuck together, and I like to use this one I did not break yet. Okay, it's still connected. Now what I like to do most of the times is, you see that how it's stuck together, that little piece? I break that. Now look what happens. Now that tail, again, let me take that little piece off that corner there, right there, so you can see what that there looks like. There you go. Now that thing's going to be zipping and paddling through the water like a bat out of heck. This is our 6 1/4. That's our 6 1/4 inch bait. This is called the buzzsaw. Buzzsaw, I like to run it usually on like a 3/16 and get it down there Texas rigged. You can kind of move it through the water and move it through the water kind of gently or fast. And the faster you go, the faster that tail is going to be thumping back there. Okay, you can see that 6 1/4 inch. The faster you're reeling this, the faster that thing is going to be thumping in the water. So on an aggressive day, this is an aggressive bait as well. Now, this does not have the ribbon tails. This is more solid. This bait right here is going to end up lasting longer than a ribbon tail. However, the bait itself, you can see versus the ribbon tail, and this fast paddle tail on there, which some call speed tail, whatever, you know. It's a paddle is what it does, you know. So the difference is in the two is this bait is ribbon tail. It's more aggressive and it pushes a lot of water, and it actually will attract because it even I think vibrates or something a little bit more in the water. Now when I'm talking about stuff, look, this is my professional opinion. Now you can agree or disagree. I mean, it's up to you. I'm just trying to help out and get my stuff out there and show a lot of different things. And I've been fishing for so long, been in this business, and I'm fishing FLW now. I've been around this business long enough to know what works. Okay, I got 50 something thousand, 60,000 plus that come in my bait shop. I send them out on fish in their boats. Or catch fish in their boats. I send them on the bait bank to catch fish. They come out and charter with me, catch fish. Believe me, folks, I know what I'm talking about when it comes to fishing. Do I know everything? No. Nobody knows everything. That's what I love. I love to learn new things all the time. And hopefully something as I sit and talk over the next few months or over the next year in all of my stuff that you guys can actually learn something as well. And that's what it's all about. If you can learn one thing, great. All right, so that's speed worm, that's 6 1/4 inch. Again, great quality plastic right there. Now let's go into another one of my baits that I love. Okay, these are the stick baits. Everybody uses a stick bait. You got to use a stick bait. I don't care where you are. This bait right here is a 6-inch bait. Okay, I call this Papa. Everybody always asks me, well, where do you name your names? Well, from my kids. I asked my daughter, what do you think I should name this bait? She says, well, Papa, I think you should call Papa. Papa knows best. All right, so this 6-inch bait, we have a 4-inch, a 5-inch, let's see, 4, 5, and then 6, and then we have a 7. I love the Papa. Papa knows best. This 6-inch is about good for everything. Texas rig, drop shot, some Carolina rig this big thing, some flip this big thing. You can have multiple choices with this. I think the Papa knows best. Papa bait is probably the best stick bait out. The buoyancy. Imagine when that thing is in the water, you Texas rigging that, or excuse me, Texas rig, coming down there. And a lot of times too, when you're flipping this, you know what's going to happen. That thing's going to dive down, and it's just something about this bait, man. When you're flipping or whatever on this bait, and you're diving down, and it's the same thing for wacky. You got that paddle. You got your wacky right here in the middle. Okay, look at that. The paddle on the two sides. Right? I'm just barely moving this down. Look at the action. That's what happens in the water, folks. The 6-inch. Now I do like to wacky rig a 4-inch too. Our wacky is the same style on the 4-inch as well. But sometimes, you know, I get into a little bit more aggressive area, and I'm going to toss this one here. Great bait right there. Let's see what else we got going on here. Again, what I'm pulling out here are my baits, okay? So I use them. They're on my boat. And here we go. Another bait. This is a 10-inch slab. 10-inch worm, folks. That's the green pumpkin. All right. Why use a 10-inch worm? Simple. A bass eats 3 times the size. Okay? A bass will eat 3 times the size. On my charters, we've tossed big baits. We've tossed big wild shiners. This big, yes, folks, this big. My clients, oh, nothing's going to eat that. That's too big. Yes. I got to prove them wrong. I know where to go. I know how to use these baits, and we catch fish. There's been times on this one we can wacky rig that. Some people will wacky rig that. Can you imagine that thing falling down in the water? Okay, why does this bait work so good? Well, let me tell you, in my opinion, the reason why I think this bait works so good, in my main opinion, especially in a lot of these lakes in Florida, is because of the eels. Not a lot of people here in Florida know about all the eels here. Right? And I've caught a lot of eels, and they're this size. Okay, we've got fish after fish after fish after fish off this 10-inch slab, this 10-inch bait right here. Okay, great bait, versatile, Texas rigger, wacky rigger, Carolina rig. Another thing, wherever you are, you want a good Carolina rig where that bait is back there and this big old bait is just back there floating around. Trust me, it will smash the holy heck out of this thing. Okay, Texas rig. It's a killer, folks. It's a reason why it's in my boat. Okay, that's called the 10-inch slab. It's a 10-inch bait. Okay. Now, again, these are baits that I like to use. Okay. This here is called the Mat Smasher. Nice little color. Let me tell you, there's a lot of these places on these lakes around us here, maybe around you, where there's crayfish or certain times of baits that are this color, and these bass are spitting them out. You can flip these, you can put them on a trailer. Okay, a lot of people put these on, well, flipping. They flip these in there, they punch these in there. Some of them will cut this right here, put them on a little chatterbait, just cut a little piece off there. You got that. Look at the action on there. I mean, we're just sitting out here. I mean, can you imagine that back there flapping around? This is a killer. Okay, great bait right there. All right, number two. I told you number one was. This is gonna be number two. The Mat Smasher. I call this creamsicle. Mat Smasher creamsicle. So in the comments below, again, I'm not going to go back over all the baits every single time, but I am this one time because I want you to make sure. I don't want you just to fast forward and be on number 5 and I say, okay, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But I will say is number 1, the blue and black topwater popper. Now number 2, the Mat Smasher creamsicle. So you're going to be numbering them 1 and 2. Now we're going to get to 3, 4, 5 in a minute. Those that do that, you're going to automatically enter to win. Those who comment in order, you're going to be entered in to win $25 worth of stuff on my shop. Okay, online. So that's number 2. Love that bait right there. And that's, I got a whole bag of them. And here's another thing. A lot of these other baits, do you think that you can put them in the same bag? Look at the colors. I just showed you my 10-inch slab. Now, out of that same bag, I'm showing you the Mat Smasher and the creamsicle. Non-bleed. There's nothing worse than getting in your bag and looking at it and seeing all your colors have faded into something else. All right? Quality and magic. That's what we try to do with the Get Hooked Magic baits. Put out good quality stuff. And when I say magic, I want it to be magical for everybody. Okay. All right. Next bait. This is I got some must-haves, and this is a must-have. Okay. This right here is my Lake Buster. Okay. Hook slot, Lake Buster. I call this the white gold. Folks, you have got to have a fluke. Okay? We've got a lot of flukes. This Lake Buster, I can't even begin to tell you how many fish we have caught. Oh man, it smells so good too. Speaking of smelling, I'm going to hop right in here. We make scented 5 different scents. head over online. We make them into bottles. Now, when I was making my scents, we had the option to put them in a spray, you know, to where you can spray it on your bait. We had the option to put them in big bottles. I come up with a little, I think they're 4-ounce bottles, okay? 2 little dabs. 2 little dabs on this bait. What and why? Why did I go with the oil versus the spray? Well, for one is the oil stays on there longer. Number 2, when the oil gets in the water, it puts off a little scent, and it's right there, okay? The baits with this teamed up with our scents. If you do, some people don't like to put scent on their bait. You don't have to. That's fine. Trust me. I catch hundreds and hundreds of bass a month. And when I say hundreds, I just did a trip today. We caught 40 something. Yesterday I did 2 trips. We had 40 and 38 on both trips. So I'm talking maybe 1,000 bass a week. All right. I'm trying to give you guys some good pointers and things that work. And get you guys going on some of these get hook magic baits. You just need to head over and try them out. Just try them out. Try them out, and you'll be hooked. I'm pretty sure you will be. I have not had a lot of complaints at all. Actually, I haven't had any complaints. Now, I've had suggestions, which is great. So back to this fluke. How you going to work this fluke? Well, simple. You can run Texas rig with the weight, get you an extra wide gap. Okay, so your weight's right down here, right on the bottom, or run it extra wide gap weightless. I do some live shows sometimes on Facebook, and I'm going to start doing live shows here on YouTube. Make sure you follow us on everything. Don't miss out, because I do a lot of giveaways. Don't miss out. A lot of times on the live giveaways, we'll give away live presents, live gifts right then and there. So, with that being said, run it weightless. Let me tell you something. When you did, I get excited when I talk about this bait. I've caught more fish on this bait probably than anything. But this one bait I'm going to get to in a minute is definitely up there in the tops as well. But so cast this out, and again, go back, watch some of my little short videos, or watch some of my live videos. This bait right here, toss it out. Pop, pop, right on top when it hits the water. As soon as it hits. 1 second. Pop, pop. Watch it dance. It'll do like this. All right. Here, it'll bounce this way, bounce this way, bounce this way. That's what it does. Bam, bam, bam. Pause. Let it sit there and float, and do it. Pop, pop, pause. Pop, pop, pause. What this does, it looks like an injured fish on top of the water, almost like a topwater frog. This thing, I've had bass just come up, flying up, destroying it like it was nobody's business. Okay, people have been amazed watching me live on my Facebook channel. Said they'd never seen anything like it. Sometimes you might need to change your cadence. Pop, 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 pause. Pop, 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 pause. For me, my what I always start out with when I cast out and get it out there, I'm pop, pop, pause. Pop, pop, pause. Pop, pop, pause. Next cast, same thing. Pop, pop, pause. Pop, pop, pause. Pop, pop, pause. 5 or 6 times. No bites. Third time I change up my cadence. Cast it out, same spot. If I know there's fish right there, or if I know there's a lot of fish out there, pop, 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 pause. Pop, 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 pause. And then the third one, I'll go pop, 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 pause 4 times. Pop, 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 pause. So 3 and 4. Okay, it makes a big difference. I've done live shows even last year over on my other channel where I've caught 50-something fish right in a row. And then I'm on every single fish. And then all of a sudden it stops for 5 minutes. And then I say, okay, folks, this is what you do. Change this. Change it up. Okay? I do a lot of charters, and I got people all around me. We just did a couple of days ago. Nobody was catching nothing. We had already had 15 fish. A lot of it's about the cadence. All right, fishing's fishing. You never know what you're going to get, but I do guarantee you're going to catch fish. You're going to catch fish on my baits or on my fishing trip, okay? But this bait right here, is amazing. Now another thing, the same bait, weightless, let it sink. Give it, count to 10. This thing will start sinking down. Okay? When it sinks down, wait and count to, I usually count to 10. Okay, if I want to do a sinking, when I count to 10, it usually goes about a foot below the water, maybe a foot and a half. Then again, the same spot, same cadence, same action. Pop, pop, pause. Pop, pop, pause. Pop, pop, pause. Pop, pop, pause. Just like that. I usually go about 4 times in an area. Nothing. Cast back out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Pop, pop, pause. Pop, pop, pause. Pop, pop, pause. Pop, pop, pause. All right. And then nothing. Then we change the cadence number 3 again. Same thing, sink, just like I told you in the previous comment. Count to 10, then do 3 and 3 and 4 and 4. Folks, if you guys can pick these little technique up when you're fishing this bait right here, I almost want to say 100% of the time that I've caught fish in one area. If I've set and tossed, that would probably be 20 casts, mind you. I don't know. I'm not going to do the math, but you figure it out, okay? Pop, pop, pause, pop, pop, 3 or 4 times that cadence, and then the next cadence, and then let it sink with the same cadence. Doing all those in the same area. If there's fish there, I'm not going to say guarantee, because nothing's ever guaranteed in this life. I'm just going to tell you from my experience, I've caught fish, and what it does is it really irritates them and just fires them up to nobody's business. Just flat out fires them up. So you do that and get that there going, and the way you work that bait, and you'll be golden out there. Love that. I call these the white gold. But I got watermelon red, got June bug red with me over here. But I have that bait. The bait is the most important. Maybe the colors will change up in your area. So you guys got to give those a try. Okay. Now, again, here's another bag. Look, as I was just saying about in that last bag, how many of you can toss whites in with reds and Okeechobee crawl colors? Okay, there's a white. You see, again, perfect non-bleed white gold. All right, now here we have another fluke, folks. I'll get a little bit closer so y'all can see this. There's your hook slot right in the middle. All right, this one here has got the jointed body. We call this the fluke buster. All right, look at that thing move. Same thing, folks, different bait. When I say same thing, I mean the same cadence. The way you're going to work this, the same as the lake buster. Okay, same cadences. Get that out there. Again, the same weight. Now back to the weighted part. I was telling you guys about the weight. You do the same thing. Some people like to put that little weight on there to get it in there and get it down faster. Maybe you don't have to count to 10. Maybe you can count to 5. Maybe you can count to 10 and just let it sink instead of being in that 2-foot range. Because if you let these sink, typically they'll slow down about a foot and a half, or foot and a half, 2 foot, and then they'll stop. Now, if you want to get a little bit of weight on there, it'll go down quicker and go down just a little bit deeper. Same action. That's why you'll add the same hook, the extra wide gap with the hook. Now we make those too. All right, we have all that. We have carbon fiber steel cut hooks online. Get hookmagicbaits.com, folks. Head on over there. All right, so we're gonna put that back in there again. These are baits that I use, and once again, as the previous bait, again, there's the lake buster, same thing, mixed in with these other baits. This we call the hydrilla bomb. All right, I like to use this bait when I do some flipping. I've caught many fish, and also as a trailer. Okay, this color here we call the Okeechobee crawl. It's the hydrilla bomb. All right, great action. And what you could do right here on the tip. Again, as the earlier bait on the buzzsaw, you can see that you can pull that apart. Okay, so you can pull that apart and have that move a little more. For me, I like to have it just the way it is because the water flows through here and it gives these two little arms moving and this tail's flapping really good. So for me personally, that's a ideal situation. It works really, really good with me. Okay, so that's another bait and another thing for you to use. And here we go back to my stick baits once again. What do we have in my boat? Papa knows best. It's like a bat. Action on that thing. Can you imagine? Okay, so where my hand? Imagine my hand. Imagine my arm is what I try to tell people. Imagine my arm is the rod. All right, so I'm sitting there tipping that rod and just bouncing it. This is what you're going to see in the water. Now later down the road, we're going to set up tanks and things like that. Just gonna have to give me time. I got so many new things, so many different fishing products coming out. But this is what you get. Great, great action. Now here's one thing I get all the time. I've got that bait. You guys see what I'm doing now? I'm kind of laughing and smiling. The Get Hook Magic baits, again, they're trademark. We use a special kind of plastic that we're grandfathered in. Okay, so our plastic is what I say is you don't got it. Unless you got the Get Hook Magic baits, then you don't have the baits. Because, again, the way we make these, and I'm sitting there looking at my hand, you can see that right there? That's 350 degrees. That's from making the baits. That's part of making baits. When you're at the shop, you know, and pumping out all these